Good morning and welcome to the craft room. Let's do take two. Unfortunately, the signal wasn't working too well and we were jumping in and out and stopping, so I've decided to restart it again. We are making a card today for that someone special in our lives. It's a card you can use for birthday, well, you could use for birthdays, but also for anniversaries and even Valentine's that's coming up later this week. So let's jump down to the desk and have a look at the card, at what we're going to use, and get the card started, because we'd already started and now we've got to do it again. Now, hopefully, now let's see, is it going to do it again or can we restart this? I think we restarted and we're fine. Hopefully, we are fine now. So let's get this card happening. As I said, we're going to use the heart, and it is glitching again. And we are going to use also, we'll just pop them up there. Oh, I feel a bit, what am I doing? The dies from the Heart of Elegance. So let's get started. And look, before we finish today, I'm going to show you how to make a card with this large heart that's heart-shaped. But let's get started. I had started to cut the paper when we had to jump off. As I said, I've just cut it at 14.8 like normal, and I've cut 1 centimetre off so that I've got a 25 centimetres at each end, and that will form my gate. And so my gate now goes like so. Now, I haven't even folded that properly with my bone folder, but we'll make do. Let's see if we can get this all happening. What we're going to do then is we're going to take some lovely designer series paper, and I'm using this one. It's called Shades and Hues, and it comes in a variety of patterns. I'll just pull, you get the striped, and on the back of the striped, but this is how we'll do it. We get the striped, and on the back of the striped you get that one. Oh, that's the striped again. Let's get the next one down. You get the gentle fade. So that's striped and faded. This is gentle fade without any lines. And on the back of that one, she says as she fumbles around here, is a different look again. I'll have to move them up. And then the last one, we have the stripe, oh, come on, without the white between, and again another different look on the back. Now this Shades and Hues comes in Berry Burst, Pool Party, Petal Pink, and Misty Moonlight, I think it is. Yeah, sorry, it's Fresh Freesia, Pool Party, Petal Pink, and Misty Moonlight. Now, it is already on special. It's not long come out, but it's already on special in the last chance. So jump in and get it while you can. I was surprised to see it go so fast. 4.5 pages, because they're going on either side of my gatefold. So let's cut those. 3. And 1 out of this one. 4. And I'm going to cut them down like that, just to speed things up, so that it is 0.5 centimetre smaller than the card. And this one too. And then to cover where we put our normal greasing. And I need that to be 9.5 centimetres. Again, we're going 0.5 centimetre down all the way around. So let's just get started with these few pieces to begin with. I'm going to do some stamping on 2 of these for the gatefold and on this big one. So we'll bring in our stamp pads, the colours I'm using. So this is, I'm using Berry Burst, Wild Wheat, and this paper is Fresh Freesia, but it matches beautifully. So we're going to use the flower stamp first and the leaves with that one. And because this is fading down, the top one I'm doing full strength and the bottom one half strength. The one will be full strength. So the top one full, the bottom one, oh, I did full again. Half. The middle one full and this one half. And on this one, I'm just going to do full on both. Now, before I get rid of my, I'll pop that out of the road for the minute. Before I get rid of my Berry Burst ink, I'm going to keep this in the Berry Burst tone. So I'm going to continue with full strength on the top and half at the bottom. And I'm not being too precise, I'm just adding some leaves in around the flowers. So that one's done. We need that one to go that way, and it can go there. This one can go there. Oh, and I forgot to do the other one. This one there, and we'll put one there. This one there. And we'll go here and that one there. So there's 2 leaves with each sets of flowers in Berry Burst. So we'll put the stamp pad aside for a minute. I had to use wipes today. My chamois was a bit damp and got a bit mouldy over the heat, the wave we've had. So I have it soaking. Now we're going to use Wild Wheat to make a bit of a golden star look of leaf on this one. And that's our stamps done. We'll leave that for after. So we'll grab our card and put some of these pieces on it. So this is the inside of our card. And we'll just pop that in there. Oh, I forgot, I'm going to put a greeting on it. We better bring that back and put the greeting on the middle. There was a lovely greeting. Oh, actually, I did think I was going to go Wild Wheat inside, wasn't I? This greeting here, it says, "My thoughts of you are all heart-shaped." And I thought that was a lovely little saying. So that's my greeting inside. Now on the front, I'm going to put the plain ones. And you'll see, I'm going to use the bone folder to get a better fold. We don't need stamp mat for the minute. I have a little gap, but I'm not too worried about that. It happens when you're 1/2 millimetre or so out at times. You think you've got it exactly right. So my fronts are cards. I haven't stamped. I could have done the same thing as the inside, but I've decided I would dress them up a little bit more using this. It's gold open weave trim. It comes in the wildflower suite, wildflower birthday suite. I'm just going to cut a piece long enough for each side. I'll put the lid on that for a minute and grab the tear and tape. Ooh, where's my end? There. And I'm going to put this down a bit so it'll be covered up by these pieces when I put them on. So we'll just put that over like so, and then up over like that. And doesn't that look gorgeous? It brings sparkle, immediate sparkle and gold to the look. And we'll do the other side. Oh, that's a bit long. Oh, it'll be all right. I don't think it is too long. I think it'll be fine. And one more up here. Again, we'll pop our trim, our sparkly trim over. And then to cover up those spots and hold it all down, we'll glue on our paper. And so actually this has the inside of our card done first. Don't think you're straight. Oh, isn't it? That's it. So that's the inside of our card done. And our outside part is prepared ready for our shaker heart that's going to go on the front. So to hold that all down in place, I'm just going to put some weight on it. Just grab a couple of bigger blocks and just to hold it down a bit. Pop it over to the side and let's get organised to do our heart shape shakers. So I need a few pieces and I'm going to have to cut out a few things. I need to cut out a heart. I need to cut out a couple of hearts actually. I need one heart and I want it to be pale, so I'll use that part. I actually need 2 of these. Well, it will be 2 hearts. this shape, this colour. So that'll give me 2 of those. We can cut the end off and then we might have other things to put in with it. And I need one of them to have that bit. I need to cut out one of these. So I did have, where did I put it? I thought I had, no. I need to grab some wild wheat cardstock. I might have had it and I've buried it, so we'll just quickly grab another piece. We just need a piece to put this on. But this is going to get awfully fiddly to glue on, so I'm going to make life easier for us all, particularly me, and bring in some adhesive sheet. And I'll just cut roughly a piece that fits behind. You want a little bit smaller so that the glue doesn't go everywhere if it leaks over the edge. So actually, I'll do the big one first, would make more sense. We'll pop that on like so, and now I can peel this without getting mess everywhere. And I still didn't get it right, so we'll just trim that bit off so I don't get glue everywhere. So I need one of those. And I want some leaves in this colour. And because that's all it got the adhesive on, I'm going to cut them out in the middle. So I'm going to cut one heart out of this and one out of that to cover it. I'm cutting one heart out of this one with another heart inside to make our window. I'm then going to cut a heart out of this, which you can't see because it's so pale, which is window sheet, and I'm going to cut this out. So there's a few cuts, so let's get them done. I'll bring in the cut and emboss machine. And we can start with one of these, with this one, and we'll put that in the middle, and we'll just start with one of these. Oh, right, let's get that through. So I have my base heart. I have my leaves. So put that back on. I'm putting I've got to use either my little dish, which is here, with bits and pieces left over. This is fabulous. If you haven't got one of these, I suggest you go get one. It's a magnetic dish. It's actually used in autos, you know, fixing cars and things. So I got mine from, I think it was Super Cheap, and I think it's the best thing I've ever bought. I haven't lost a dye since I've been using it. So now I have my other heart and my 2 leaves. So I haven't wasted that bit of tape in the middle, or that adhesive in the middle. So there's the out of this one. So we'll pop that through. these are all layers that we're going to use to make this heart. This is just a piece of adhesive, piece of window sheet. You hear the plastic crackle. And lastly, and I'm going to put it back this side so you've got clear vision, I'm going to put this piece down with the heart on it, and then I'm taking the smaller heart and I'm placing it in the middle. So I want the points at the top to be touching. Ooh, let's see how we go. Yes. And these points at the bottom need to line up. That looks pretty good. And let's pop that through. Got stuff everywhere over here. I was all organised, and then when the glitches started at the start, I lost it, didn't I? Now, that is our last cut. I will show you that in a sec. Let's get rid of this. So what we have here now is we have a small heart and a bigger heart. We'll put our dies over in the bowl. So the pieces we have a back piece. This I'm going to cover on the back, but you could use a lighter colour to begin with, but I wanted to keep it in keeping with the paper we're using. And then I have a window sheet, a top piece, and some decorations, and a spare heart, which I could use on another card. So we'll just put that right up the top. We don't need him. So we will start with gluing this on. And letting it dry. And I found if you got your tip at the bottom right and followed your curve round, it went all right. So we'll put him there for the minute. Now, to make our shaker card, you need these or something similar. These are called, what do they call these? I don't know. Strips. They are strips of... It's just one. Oh, before I do that, I've got to put my window sheet on. So this one has to be attached to this one, the window sheet. And the easiest way, because if I did glue, wet glue, it would take a while to dry. So the easiest way I found was just to put some tear and tape. And it doesn't have to be perfect because this isn't the seal to hold the shaker bits in. So a couple of strips here and there, and we're right. I did try using the adhesive, but the seal, but it is too wide. So I ended up putting it back and using just the tear and tape. So any bits that are over, you just tuck in, because that's what I was doing with the seal too, just tucking anything that hung over. Come on. Oh, it hasn't stuck there. There it goes. So just tuck anything that might have hung out. And then take your window sheet. And I matched up the point at the bottom. Oh, come on. And then, if you go up the side, matching the side piece, it fits pretty well okay. I've gone a little bit off to the side, as you can see. I'm just going to trim that. So it doesn't matter. If, like me, you get it slightly crooked, just trim it. Otherwise, it's fine. So now I'm going to take my strip, and one whole strip I found worked perfectly. I'm placing it here, right at the, it's very narrow here, but if you get it, it does fit. And then you go round the edge, trying to keep in the middle as much as possible. And around we go here. And then this joins perfectly there. Just make sure it's tucked in from the front. And there we have it. That's all set to go. And I used, these are the champagne iridescent dots. What I did find is if you put the big ones down that way, the curved side up, it was harder for them to turn over. So you got the back of the curve where it isn't as sparkly and shiny. So I put a few big ones down, making sure they were upside down. And then I just tossed some little ones. See, that one's gone. Anything that went up the right way, I just turned over. Because you want the nicest bit to show out. And they tended, if you notice, they're tending to fall. These smaller ones aren't too bad, and the tiny ones are fine. But I'll just turn them just to be sure. But definitely the big ones need to be upside down. I found they didn't turn over so easy. And once you've got some big ones in, then you can go and just toss a few little ones, and it doesn't matter if they're upside down or not, because they jump around. And you can just do that as many as you want. Where are some more little ones? They're all over the side here. That one's a couple of big ones are still up the wrong way. Well, up the right way, but I want them up the wrong way. The little ones tend to fall to the bottom, so I suppose I like to have quite a few in. You want it to look good, don't you? Anyhow, that might do it. I was hoping to find more. I must have used a lot of little ones on other projects because there's not that many. They tend to hide. Anyhow, that's enough. So we're going to hold our card down, or our piece down carefully, and remove the tape and place our heart, and this is where I've got stuck, and some turned up, flicked up when I flicked it. We're going to place our heart, don't do it again, Ellie, on top. And again, I just match up the point at the bottom and look along the side and do it as best you can. And there you are. Now, yes, I've got a fair, oh, one came out. I've got a bit showing there. So I could use the top as a guide here, just to get that off. And maybe there. But there's another little trick I'm going to do, because that's quite white underneath and it can show. Make sure all that's sealed properly. I'm going to take my paintbrush end and I'm just going to paint all the way around. And I'm also painting the card underneath on the outside so that it's now going to be dark instead of light. See how it's light underneath? I'm just colouring that in too as I colour in the side. So it now matches the top cardboard. Oh, and I did that last time. Got a bit on the top, but we'll be covering that up, so I'm not too fussed. So that's the shaker bit. Let's decorate it. We will take our heart. Mangle it a bit while we try and get that off. Right. And I'll place, I'm just going slightly inside because it is a little bit smaller. But I'm matching up the points both at the top and the bottom. If I can, I'll just move the bottom one. That's better. So that's there, and we've got the shaker on top. I've got a few more decorations, and I did cut these out the other day, or yesterday. So we've got some, using the flower here, I've cut out some flowers, and I've got a few more leaves cut out as well. We should have 3 lighter ones and 3 darker ones I've got. And I've got 4 leaves. But I also want to add some words in. So I'm going to take the stamp from this set, and it says, "My heart loves your heart." I'm just going to take a bit of this paper and a stamp mat. This stamp pad, oh, look at the mess on this desk, Ellie. Everything's made a huge mess. And it's upside down, but that doesn't matter. It says, "My heart loves your heart." And I'll grab my snips. Get rid of this. And I'm going to just cut this out. So I want "your heart loves" and "my heart." So let's get rid of all the rubbish. My heart. I'm cutting off screen, aren't I? Because I'm thinking about getting rid of all the rubbish. And loves. And I'm going to use dimensionals to hold that up, but they're so thin. This is my little hint for dimensionals on thin stuff. This is the mini dimensionals. They have quite a thick gap on the sides and top. And I just cut a piece along, like so. I'll pull the back off. And then got my hands all tied up. I'll place a piece along here. Can't see what I'm doing. And cut. Piece along here. And cut. And this piece can go on this one. Put it on straight. Highly recommend putting things on straight. Doesn't always happen though, does it? So let's bring in our glue and glue some of these flowers on. I tend to put, if I get a dob and it's a bit big, I tend to share it round. We'll put a white light one down here. That's a light one. We'll put a dark one up here. This one can go here. And that's covered up my mess that I did up there. I'll pop one here. I'm going to pop a couple along here, down this side. And then we will take my heart and put it across here. And where did it go? Your heart can go across here. We'll put loves in the middle. And these little ones will just stick around where we feel we need to put some leaves. We may or may not use them all. But we'll get this one. And nothing is really pushed down, so I can lift and adjust to put things in at this stage. And we'll pop one in here. I want the flower on top though, Mr. Leaf. So you go underneath. Oh look, that's fiddly, isn't it? But we'll get it there. We didn't need that one. Perhaps we could have used one of these two-piece ones. We'll pop this one out under this flower because it's only stuck it in the centre. It's easy to pop them on. And this one can come out underneath your heart. So I need to get that up slightly while we stick it in. There we go. And then to add a bit more, I've got some lovely little dots I put aside to put in the centre. Where did I put them? I did have them here. Here they are. Now, what are these dots called? These are the adhesive-backed trio pearls. And this is it's actually a petunia pop colour, but it works perfectly. And that's sometimes what you need to do. You need to check your colours, even if it says it's petunia pop and you're using berry burst. Sometimes it just works. And of course they're pearls that match the pearls that are inside. So this is my heart. That will go on the front of my card. So that's going to go there. But how do I get it to stick? Well, because I'm using the ribbon, I found I needed some tear and tape as well as glue. And we're only wanting it to be glued on one side, so when it opens up, it opens like so. So on this side of the heart, we take our tear and tape, and I just put a few bits on so that it'll stick through the ribbon and stick straight away. But it's still not a perfect stick, I find, with this piece of ribbon or trim. So I just put a little bit of glue everywhere. And when that dries, which will take a little bit of time to get stuck through the material, it will dry and hold perfectly. So line it up so that your heart is perfectly straight on the line. And pop it down, and there you have it. So that's my card for my husband for this Valentine's. My heart loves your heart. That's a little bit crooked. We just twisted a bit. And my thoughts are all heart-shaped. Now, actually just a gentle fade, and I did it sideways this time. So there's two versions of the same card with slightly different paper. It's probably really hard to pick up, but this time it's fading down because of the way it goes, and this one faded across. But I also did the same card using the gently fading pool party, and I used that as the place to write on the inside. And I use this gorgeous paper, which is called, it's this one. It's new online. It's called Cute as a Bee, and it is Petunia Pop, and it is Pool Party, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive. And so I cut a bee out of this one, as you can see. And I use this paper to go with it. So that's how you can do it. And I use one of the sayings out of the Heart of Elegance, Be Mine, as the greeting. I used different little dots inside, sprinkles. They are the butterfly out of the beautiful butterfly suite. And I use some of the little tiny bees on it. And then inside, I left it blank. But there is another card, and this is what I wanted to show you. This is my heart-shaped card. And what you do to make this card is very easy. And I will show you quickly before we go, because I think it's something that it's nice to know. Now, I should have had a card ready. I haven't. So let me just grab a piece of cardstock and we'll make it into card shape with our bone folder. We better get it straight. And what you do is you take, where is it? This large heart, and I'm going to place it over. Now you can place it as far or as little. I had it just over on both sides, and you cut through the cut and emboss machine. So we'll give it a quick go and I'll show you what you end up with. I'll bring this back to this side. And I just did about that much. I can't see if I'm straight. I need to stand up to see straight down. Over the top. We don't want too much cut off. Brought all the rubbish, that'll do. Go in a bit more. You see the rubbish that's come with me. The backings of those leaves. That won't hurt too much. We'll take this out of the road. And we take our piece off. And there's your card. And then you can cut out this piece with white. And you can cut out the top either in the smaller piece or even the smaller ones like the hearts. You don't have to put a shaker on it. I just, because I was making shakers, wanted to show you the shaker. So very easy to make a heart-shaped card with the Hearts of Elegance dies. So they're my cards for today. And I hope that gives you some ideas of what you could do to make a card for someone you love this coming Valentine's or for any anniversary. Now let's come back. I'll give you a quick goodbye. We'll be back here next Saturday we'll be back. It will be the 15th of February. I can't believe we're nearly halfway through February already. January dragged and February's flying. So join me next week and we'll see what I don't even know what I'm going to do. Let's do something new and exciting, something that we haven't used before. All right? Have a good week and I will look forward to catching up with you then. Bye-bye.